remember, guys and girls, my rhetoric and my opinion meaningless. What you're here to learn is you're here to learn this. Like, take a screenshot of this. As I said to the public, you guys, here for these daily briefs and stuff, there would be a really good screenshot for you to put in your journal. I'm here at TRI to learn these concepts. I've got to commit this to memory. I've got to not only be able to identify this, see it happening, but when the next time it does happen, and you can see we're below moving averages, there really is no support here other than the 200 SMA and the original downtrend line. I'm here to learn this. For heaven's sakes, you got to have that in your journals. So you can see 390, so I guess we were at 385 overnight. What's crazy, of course, is they got these damn options expiries now every single day. But this monthly contract, this is a big one. I've talked to you guys about this before. This is the quadruple witching, where March, June, September, and December are the big institutional months for options, and these have much more open interest than your typical weeklies. So we can see 390 here. We were, I guess, at 385 overnight. Interestingly enough, had they had the market down there into Friday at those levels, all of these call options would expire worthless. I think probably the big one they'd probably ideally like to keep the market below is this 390 level, because you notice there's 43,000 there. 41,000 up here, 394. So there's another 31,395. Ooh, look at that at the 400, the big fat round number, 91,000 contracts. Wow, some serious numbers. So my hunch is they probably want to try and keep the market below this level. So it's interesting. Here we are, 390. Is the market really jumping? I don't think so. All right, on the put side, and really this is more, look at the numbers on these puts. Holy fraholies. So here we are, 390 even, and what's this number? 128,000? Holy crap. That's a serious number, folks. That's a lot of options. I mean, you can see even right now they're going at roughly $3. I mean, let's just try ballpark this. Let's see what maybe the average price of this thing is. You can see, look at that, is up in this 150 area. So all along here, right? $4 roughly, a low of 2 and a high of 6. So let's say an average, let's be generous. Let's say an average of 4. There is 4 right there. That looks like it's about the average. And you can see it was this date where it just went absolutely crazy here. And so this was a high of 417, a low of 2.5. So if we take the midpoint of that to 420, 250, let's call it 3.5, somewhere in there. So let's just say that the average right price is $3. Which, interestingly enough, is actually where the market is right now, eh? Well, not a coincidence. Boom. Just, wow, staggering number. I mean, let's just do the math here. I mean, when you actually know what's going on here and you see this, you're just like left in awe. So, roughly 128,000. What's 128,000 between a couple friends, right? Times, multiplier on these things is 100 because it's on 100 shares. So then we're talking literally about 12.8 million shares. Then, of course, we said that the strike price is $3.90 or $390. So times 390. What kind of number are we going to come up with here? This is a nice friendly $4.9 billion. Fuck me. $5 billion there, folks. All tied up in that option right there. $5 billion. And keep in mind, these are, literally 128,000. That's basically add up all of these strikes. It would come up into that number. So you could have all of these strikes all expire in the money. But as long as they keep this thing expiring out of the money, it's a wash. But look at them all. 50,000 here, 38,000, 100,000 here, 101,000. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the average right price of that thing is. My hunch is they probably would like to try and get the market up a little bit higher here into Friday. Definitely think that there's a lot of incentive for them to keep them up here. I would even say that there's incentive to get the market up above this 394, to be honest with you. If they can do that, notice like how the put options really, they still got this little sort of problem down here, but you notice they've done just a ton of business down here that they'll probably offset the pain that they're going to feel with this option expiring in the money. Interesting how 390 is basically where we are right now, 389.56. My hunch is that, like I said, they'll probably work this thing up into 394. It's not a hugely higher number. You know, already earlier this morning, they had this thing 393. So you can see 200 SMA stop the bull, the lows, you know, Wyckoff check, munches, Friday. They're probably going to try and have it go out somewhere up in this area here. And the 30 SMA, ironically enough, has actually been a really good, you know, sort of trade location stalling out. Notice how 30 SMA, it worked there. It worked brilliantly in Bitcoin there just last week. And when I showed you this the other day, which was really interesting, was 200 SMA here off of the daily charts. That'll be the 30 SMA off of the weekly charts. So it's a really cool tool to use. Well, actually, yeah, I guess there's the 30 SMA. I guess the difference here is that this, with Bitcoin, the market is 24/7. If you take 7 days a week, 365 days in a calendar year, those moving averages work really, really well as sort of like fractaling up and down the time scale. Based on this SPY, 13 EMA probably acts as resistance. I like the idea of us topping out up top here. It's not really anything clear there off of the weekly charts. I like the daily chart. That, I think, is a pretty good Wyckoff check there first thing this morning. Interesting how we're basically on the day lows now. And, like I said, my hunch is that they're going to try and jawbone this up into that expiry. See if they can, like I say, if they can take it out at like 394. Somebody remind me on Friday to take a boo at this. My hunch is that they will try and bump this up. But at the same time, too, 390 is the heaviest open interest strike now. So if they take it out just right around there, they'll do fine. Interesting how that's still painting lower highs and lower lows. What a great example of an empire there. Beautiful, beautiful example of an empire. Nice sell signal there. Remember, guys and girls, my rhetoric, in my opinion, meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. What you're here to learn is you're here to learn this. Like, take a screenshot of this. As I said to the public, you guys, here for these daily briefs and stuff, you really should have your journals out. But there would be a really good screenshot for you to put in your journal. I'm here at TRI to learn these concepts. I've got to commit this to memory. I've got to not only be able to identify this, see it happening, but when the next time it does happen, and you can see we're below moving averages, there really is no support here other than the 200 SMA and the original downtrend line. I'm here to learn this. For heaven's sakes, you got to have that in your journals. And quite often what I find is that the market will dump, and of course the public will get all bearish here. Then we'll get this big-ass rally, and I even noticed just on this 2 or 3 day rally, everybody and their brother was getting insanely bullish. What they don't understand was that they were walking into a trap. I might argue the exact same thing with the price action here. This hasn't set up any patterns, but we all know, of course, that FUMC is coming out here. And I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, opinions aren't really that relevant, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of working up into there, and then we have to, following the FUMC, we roll back over, and all we're doing is just making lower highs and lower lows, filling in gaps. Josh over there on YouTube will tell you what the statistical probability of this hole in the charts being filled in. So interesting how we actually did come down and fill that in there on that day, the other day there. Well, maybe that's done. I don't know. Obviously, this huge gap that they've done here today, this will have to be filled in at some point down the road.